Hi everybody, it's Andrew Hutchings with you here, just seconds after my last video. Still not a doctor, still never giving medical advice. If it seems like I am, well actually I'm just consolidating medical information and putting it all in one place, along with my opinion. Probably, because just consolidating the information may not be enough for you. You may also need a little helping hand from a well-informed person, my opinion. So yes, this video is about the limitations of blood pressure medications. So we've discussed 3 types of blood pressure medications. One is vasodilators. They open up the blood vessels, give the blood more space to go, lowering blood pressure. 2 is diuretics. Diuretics decrease the amount of water in your body, decreasing the amount of water in your blood, which means your blood takes up less space. Blood vessels stay the same, but what's in them becomes less, so less pressure. Way 3 is by decreasing the intensity of the heart beating and the frequency of it beating. Because pushing a whole lot of blood through at once with a big strong beat is going to spike the pressure as it goes through there. Whereas a smaller beat is going to have a smaller spike. And more frequent is just like more frequent big spikes versus less frequent big spikes or less frequent small spikes. Whatever size your spikes are, it's getting them less frequently and getting total blood pressure down a bit. So the limitations with all of these things is that I'm gonna actually start a little different than I had planned on. And it's actually not directly high blood pressure, but probably if you have high blood pressure, you have clogged arteries. Now, high blood pressure, very important, but also very important is getting the oxygen you need to your brain and your organs. And if you have clogged arteries, so this is your artery, but you've got gunk in here, so let's see if I can find something good to show you with. So if this is your artery, pretend that this is open at the other end. And this is how it should be. Lots of space in here. Everything can just go through just fine. But if you have plaque in your arteries, I don't know what this is, but let's put it in here. So now, how can my hand get in the cup? It can't. I mean, a little bit can get in through here, but that's not very much. And my hand is the blood with the oxygen. So normally, you get all this blood and oxygen going to your brain, your heart, your other organs. But when you've got plaque in there, actually I got a better idea. So this is our plaque now. So when you've got plaque in there, my hand doesn't get through as well. Like you can see that my fingers can still go around the candy. They can get through a little bit. So you see like the fingers can get through, but my whole hand, you don't get as much going through. You just get a lot less. And no matter how much, so vasodilators make that cup bigger, but they can only make it so much bigger. So maybe they can make it 20% bigger, but there's a limit to it. So if it's 80% clogged and you make it like 20% bigger, it's still only so much space. You get up to like 90% clogged and you can make it 20% bigger. And it's not, I would just say an actual number, but opening the total blood vessel by 20% may not necessarily mean you get an exact 20% increase in the total space the blood can go through. I mean, roughly. So yes, you do get more space, but only so much more. And eventually it can become clogged even when it's opened up as big as possible. So even though it's 20% larger than it can be at its more constricted state, if it's still completely clogged, nothing can get through. You don't get your proper blood, nutrients, and most importantly, oxygen, especially to your brain, your heart, your lungs, everything. So now back onto more blood pressure stuff. I mean, that's super related because if you have high blood pressure, it's probably from clogged arteries, and I mean, this is a big concern for you. But now back to blood pressure, why the stuff has limitations. Let me remember what the thing was. Oh yeah, it's the same thing. So, remember how I just said that you can only open it up so much? And yeah, if you are pushing a lot of blood through those blood vessels, even if you open it up 20% bigger, it makes it go down, but only by so much. So it can only help you so much, and maybe you need it to help you more than it does. Now, luckily, you can decrease the amount of blood volume going through. So you can control potentially more than the vasodilation, but once again, you can only do that so much before you run into other problems. So, long story short, both methods of vasodilator or diuretics, they have limitations. They can only help you so much. Same with the slowing down of the heart rate and the decreasing of the intensity. I mean, you decrease it too much and you're dead, so that's another limitation. I mean, the other things too, you're gonna die if you do it too much. I mean, the vasodilator, you're not gonna die. They can only become so dilated. With diuretics, you lose too much water, yes, you will die. And with the decreasing of heart rate and intensity, yes, you will die if that goes too low. So what I'm getting at is they all have limitations. Ultimately, what you need is to get rid of the plaque in the arteries to restore your full. This is the plaque in the arteries. You need to get rid of it so you go back to being able. Then you can forget probably about the vasodilators and the diuretics to get less blood volume going through here. And you can possibly forget about your stuff to lower your heart rate and the heart intensity. The problem is that we don't really know how to get rid of that plaque in there so that you restore this clean, nice, open blood vessel cup. Perhaps someday I'll develop a method of getting rid of it, but for now there is somehow no way of getting rid of that plaque. Supposedly. I have some theories, but I don't spend much time thinking about them or researching deeper into them, so I'm not going to discuss them, at least not yet. But yeah, that's the sad truth, that all the medications in the world can only help you so much. If your blood vessel becomes 100% clogged, well then you don't get any blood through there. Now I know that's not the same as high blood pressure, but once again, if you have high blood pressure, you probably have clogged arteries, and this is a concern for you. And the more clogged the artery is, the higher the blood pressure, so the reason clogged arteries raise your blood pressure is, you know how we said vasodilators, they open it up, give it more space to go, that lowers the blood pressure? Well, clogging the arteries does the opposite. It gives the blood less space to go through. So you try to shove something through a smaller space, and blood pressure goes up. Yeah, so if you're young, just try to diet and exercise, lots of cardio, take it easy on your fats and your sugars, stick to good fats. If you're old, sorry to tell you that there's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, there are some things. I'm no expert on it. Perhaps someday I will be, hopefully in time for you, whoever you are, but we'll see. There are some medications that have shown to increase HDL, but not all of them have been shown to decrease plaque, because sometimes just because you increase HDL, plaque does not decrease, even though some HDLs can help get plaque out of the arteries. For the most part, you're stuck just preventing yourself from getting worse. It's very hard to go in the reverse. So yes, all the different medications to lower your blood pressure have limits. So if they're sufficing for you now. Just make sure you don't get worse, because if you get worse, they may not suffice someday. Because you can get more worse than they can help you more. So like, this is how they're helping you, this is how bad you are. You get worse, they can help you more. You get worse, they can help you more. You get worse, well, now they're at their limit, they can't help you more. Then you get worse and worse and you die, because they can only help you this much. Yeah, I hope I didn't go on and on too much. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I mean, why not? It takes you like half a second to click like and then another half a second to click subscribe. And check out my Instagram, natural_true_fitness. And you can hire me for training advice, diet advice. You can eat Whoppers and whatever this is and Milk Duds. They're still here because they're the ones I don't tend to eat. But just because you can eat those and stay skinny doesn't mean you should eat them, because they are bad for your health. But I'm a realistic person. I know that you want to be able to eat the stuff you like, so I help you to do it and stay aesthetically pleasing. And to kind of be healthier also. I mean, you gotta balance health and looks. You don't want to just look great and be ready to keel over in a day. But then you gotta consider mental health, the mental health of being able to eat stuff you like versus always being dieting. And that's why I'm a great person to help you, because I take all of this into consideration. I can also give you explanations of the ingredients in different supplements, and I can also consolidate medical information for you and give an opinion along with it if you need that. Coming soon is my book on tendinitis, for wherever your tendinitis is, so that you can get back to living your life the way you want to, and you can stop spending a ton of time and money on doctors who aren't helping you to get better. So once again, please like and subscribe, and give it a comment too. And share it to all the old people you know. Probably the other videos are more helpful. This one's kind of just telling you the sad reality that they can only help you so much. But it's good to know that those three general classes of things have a good general understanding.